Our first non-sober episode.
Still mostly.
Just a tiny, tiny little nudge. Oh, wait. Was that recorded?
It is.
Shit. Okay, welcome everybody to another episode of the Suited Kings podcast. More importantly, another new year.
Another new year, Wes. Another year of being friends with me.
Yeah, we're at about 3 right now.
Yeah.
It was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
We went to Colorado together. It was end of January, I think.
Yeah. Did we have resolutions that we discussed then?
No, I know 2 years ago we did a resolutions episode, and I think last year we might have not done it.
Really? Did we skip it? I thought we did. I don't know. We'll have to go back.
You know what I realized, though?
What's that?
I think last year we maybe didn't do one because we kind of didn't follow our resolutions from the year before.
Oh, no. Admittingly.
Yeah, we should maybe just delete that episode so people can't. Actually, no. People should go back and listen, and then suddenly that'll be our most listened to episode because they just want to roast us.
If you guys want to improve your results from 2024, go back.
You know what's funny is 2024, the year when we had the resolutions.
Yeah.
Worst year of my poker career. Like worst year since probably 2017 or 18 in terms of my results.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, I don't remember my results from 2024, so that's not surprised.
I know you started off with, you had that win in the Avalanche.
Oh,
and then
yeah, that's right.
Online was decent. I don't know if you had much more live, like any other big scores. But
No, I don't think so. That's right. I forgot I started off by, the Running Aces tournament. That was pretty sweet. So,
yeah.
if you guys aren't aware, actually, so this is a special episode. Wes and I are currently recording from
Bessemer, Michigan.
Michigan. So we're out here for a little ski/snowboard trip. We're out here gonna ride. It's actually my birthday this weekend as well.
Mm-hmm.
I turned 25, and
Okay, buddy. Do you want the people to know how old you actually are?
Just add 14 to that. And
Add 14 to that.
Add 14 to that, and that's my age. But yeah, we're just gonna, this episode's gonna be a little bit more fun, and we're gonna be preparing for the new year ourselves. We have a couple beers in front of us, and
to be more specific, a couple THC beverages too.
We're just enjoying ourselves here, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode while we're going through it.
So today we're going to just quick review how our year went and then talk about our resolutions. And then I think we'll spend most of the time talking about potential resolutions for you guys. Not obviously, it's up to you to determine what applies to you, but I think these are all things that I mean, you and I still, even to this day, need to remind ourselves of, need to work on, et cetera.
100%. And so we have a bunch of different topics to discuss when it comes to resolutions. And you know what? Whether or not you have a resolution, I mean, again, you don't have to follow any of these. Just follow one of them if you can. I mean, I find that having too many resolutions, chug that beer, Wes.
That's actually what I was doing.
I feel like having too many resolutions can ruin it too. It can you can get overwhelmed, or you mess up on one, then you give up on the rest. I don't know. Resolutions in general can kind of just suck.
Yeah, and in terms of resolutions, I've never been a New Year's resolution person. I've been more of it's like if there's something I want to change, I just start when I decide I want to, I feel like that's when it works the best.
Yeah. I mean, you're already, a disciplined person, and you kind of are able to do that stuff. Most people try and use resolutions as a time to start getting on track.
It's a great time. Yeah.
You're already on track though. I mean,
I agree. There have been times when I haven't felt that way, but
yeah, you can also always add stuff too. So, but some of the topics we're going to be discussing today, replacing results-based thinking with decision-based thinking. I think that's going to be a huge one. Fixing one leak versus trying to fix your whole game. So that's
a really good one.
Yeah, try and just again plug one hole in the boat, not all of them at first. You can go one by one. We're going to discuss emotional control, making sure that we're not letting emotion affect our decisions. I think that it's not that I think it. We know that emotional control is a skill that's developed. It's not just something you're born with. So that's something that I want to work on personally. We'll get more into that. Stop playing marginal spots out of boredom. That could be a good one. I think a lot of people fall into that category, especially amateurs. And even myself occasionally, right?
And even, or on the other side, stop avoiding marginal spots because you're afraid. Slightly plus EV spots,
Yeah. So, I mean, and we have more than just that, but whether you take all of these and work on all of them or even just one of them, I think this is a great time to try and start to improve your game and, try and make some money in 2026.
Let's make some money, guys.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. So, let's go ahead, Wes, and let's discuss how 2025 went.
Yeah.
What's our plan? Just what's going on.
So I'll start with my 2025. January started off slow. February, I started the bankroll challenge. Now, as you guys know, I haven't streamed in a couple months. I took a couple months off in the summer. So I put a total of over 500 hours into streaming, and I was up. So I got the bankroll I peaked at 64K. It's currently sitting at like 54K. And so that means 44K profit in like 500 hours. That's actually pretty remarkable. It might be closer to 600, but that's still like a really good hourly. What are you laughing at, Max?
Just tooting your own horn.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. You're
It's
talking about
THC.
We are
talking results. Well, if you think my online's good, wait till we get to the last few months of live, buddy. Unfortunately, I didn't grab my stats in terms of the dollar amount of buy-ins.
Let's just lie and just really fluff it, make people think we're the greatest.
What do you mean? That's kind of the whole point of the podcast, right?
Okay.
But no, I ended. These are going to be close numbers. Like I profited in live tournaments something like 150 to 60K.
Yep.
In that range. And so really just subtract that amount from my Hendon for the year.
Well, let's pause you for a second. So that mostly came in the last few months.
Yeah, so coming into October, or coming into the Fall Poker Classic Main, I should say, I was down on the year in terms of live tournaments. I was probably down close to 20K, and then, so I'm probably up, like 150. So we'll say it's like 80 to 90K in buy-ins, and then, I don't know, my Hendon is like 240 on the year, something in that range, 240, 250. And I sold a little action for some of that. I won't, we won't
neither
get
here
into
nor
that.
there.
Yeah. So in terms of my raw numbers, plus like 150-ish in live tournaments. Barely played any live cash, but profited from that when I did, maybe 6K total. Online outside of the streaming, I didn't play, obviously, so most of my online was streamed, and then, I didn't make much online outside of that. Like, I had a couple little downswings, a couple upswings, and so on the year, we're looking probably at around 200K profit from poker, which is, we take that.
Well, especially as that's your primary source of income.
Exactly.
That's your career. And, this just goes to show that what putting a lot of effort into and having discipline can do to your game and, to your life. But let's be clear as well with that it's not just all rainbows and butterflies, right? Like
totally.
The whole beginning of the year, up until these last few months, it just was looking pretty damn mediocre, right?
Yeah, like I had a terrific 23. I had kind of a barely break even 24, and then 25 was a little better, but I was still like not doing great. And then I had the FPC main, the Run Good main in Iowa, and then the MSPT in Minnesota.
I thought you were going to become an MSPT champ this year. You're so damn close.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
And you know what?
You and me both got thirds in an MSPT.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. We made third. Third place has become the West place.
By the way, big shout out to my boy Wes. He finally broke the curse. You guys, this man finally won a live tournament. It's been a hot minute, but he won the Canterbury $100. He won the Canterbury $100 for a smooth $1,500.
Yeah.
And I will say that I shot him a text. I said, it's time to celebrate. So here we are in Bessemer celebrating while we chat with you guys. I can't believe it.
I will say, and obviously this isn't completely true, but in the moment when I won that tournament, the joy I felt, the emotions were so much better than when I've won like 70 grand for third place.
It's funny though. Yeah. Man, I don't know.
Something about closing a tournament.
Yeah. It's funny because it's like financially, it's not helping you nearly anything the same, but just the triumph, right? Like I think probably you coming out, just getting, even if you got second place, you would have felt the same at this point, just knowing you're past that third place hill you better. Although it's, if I were to get third place in every tournament I played, I'd be pretty damn happy.
Third place pays the bills. Like, don't get me wrong. And that's where it comes from, right? It's obviously I'm not just getting third and everything, but of my top 5 Hendon Mob scores, 4 of them are third places. And then I have a couple other third place 5 figures when we're at Canterbury. Yeah. So like I have had a disproportionate amount of third places, but also like when I've final tabled, I've tended to finish top 4 the vast, vast majority of the time. And that, that prints money. But I just haven't gotten my share of first places necessarily.
No. And that's okay. It'll come around. I told you, you're going to break that third place streak by winning a bracelet. I guess it was a Canterbury 100. It
was a Canterbury 100. I mean, I just went so far in the other direction. I haven't played a buy-in. Like, I played one bullet of a 200 randomly earlier this year.
I do love to see you kind of playing the daily streets, though. I mean, I haven't played those in a couple of years now.
And I got third in the 250 on Saturday.
Yeah,
Third again.
Yeah.
Like,
when will it end? But okay, so the year started off mediocre. Let's not dwindle on this or hang on this for too long, as we want to get the people their content. But you pulled through, and it's nice to see you thriving again and hit these big scores. As a friend and as just someone who I've seen put in a lot of effort, it's nice to see you come through there. And and for me personally, is there any other things you want to discuss?
I think the only thing I was going to say is one thing I changed, and this may move forward in resolutions, is like, I think I've recently started putting in a little less volume. I've gotten a little coaching. I've put in a little more time studying. And I've been more healthy physically in the last 4 months. I've been exercising a lot.
You've been being consistent with your exercise?
Yeah. Okay. So I think that has all sort of just helped life in general. And as a professional poker player specifically, it's easy to, on just sort of a week-to-week, day-to-day basis, attach a lot of weight to your results emotionally. Okay. And I think just focusing
on your body physically.
It kind of can, like your mental and physical are so connected.
Yeah, for sure.
And so just being healthy and focusing on some things in life completely unrelated, it keeps me in a better state of mind. And it's easier not to take every individual result super seriously. That all being said, when you get some big scores, that also helps. So I get that it's a little bit of which came first.
I will say that it coincidentally, and maybe not coincidentally, actually, maybe I'd argue not coincidentally, but when you and I were chatting, you were saying you were getting coaching again and working harder on your game. All of a sudden, results just started following that.
They did, and to be clear, the first third place happened before I started the coaching, but I think a lot of the exercise,
the improvement or the gain of confidence, I think, has a lot to do with it as well. It helps with making better decisions in the moment when you feel confident that you can make those decisions. So, big shout out to that. And I will say, so for me, how did my year go? Honestly, so I do keep track of everything. I have my live results and my online results tracked separately. I have not tallied my online results yet. I would say it's probably roughly plus 15 to 20-ish K, something like that. Yeah, roughly in that range, something like that. But I don't put in a large volume online. I play a couple nights a week, maybe just on a Sunday.
And even when you do, you're not 8 tabling, right?
I play 2 tables to 3 tables, yeah. So online isn't too big for me. In terms of live results, it kind of, it's been a good year. So I started off, I think I was I've been firing MSPTs and stuff this year. I didn't really have any results for the first half of the year. I think I cashed one WSOP event. Granted, I was there.
You didn't play too many.
I didn't play too many this year. But I didn't have much going on. And then right after the series ended, I won my first ring.
Yep.
And then that kind of started a little, put a little heat under the. What? Give me something here.
Heat under the seat?
Like, yeah, it gave me a little heat under. Thank you, Wes. That's exactly what
it rhymes. It makes some sense.
Boom. So I had a little heat under the seat.
That's actually good.
And then, so I followed that ring win with a third place in the MSPT for 51K, then like a fifth place in the cheap and deep for 14K, and then a couple of small cashes here that I got. I don't know. The ring was 10K, roughly 10K. And I just had a bunch of min cashes outside of that. I was down like 6K leading up to that ring win, and now I'm roughly up. I think I'm roughly up 60K to end the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it worked out pretty good. Maybe, roughly 60K, between 55 and 60K. So it's been a good year.
So it's like 40 from live, 15, 20 from online. Is that?
I'd say it's pretty accurate.
Nice. Yeah. And I mean, poker's your side thing.
Yeah. Like just to be clear, real estate is my main gig. I also work for Medtronic part-time. So but I'm an avid poker lover. I'm passionate about it, and I still want to just make more money than you is my ultimate goal.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
speaking of which, let's play. We're gonna play heads up.
We're gonna play a little heads up here.
Yeah.
So let me ask: was there, looking back on your year, excuse me, is there anything that you changed in either your game or your habits that you think helped, or is it just like kind of? Poker tournaments have a ton of variance too.
Yeah, honestly, it's just variance. There's nothing that specifically changed. I felt confident all year. At no point did I feel like I was on a downswing. Like it was just enough min cashes here, enough cashes there to offset the bust to not make me feel like I was on a downswing. So nothing like that. And I do feel like doing this podcast and the chatting that we do with, I have a lot of really good friends at poker that I look up to, and just being able to talk with them has been giving me the confidence I feel to get the results I need. And also the over decade plus of experience, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of failing and getting better from it. So
yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, so it's no matter what, 2025 was an awesome year. And to cap it off, the day I got back from Vegas, my wife told me she was pregnant, as many of you know at this point. So
it's coming up.
2026 is going to be a different year for me. Volume is actually going to be lower than usual. However, I'm still hungry, right? Mm-hmm. And so is my family. So I still,
yeah, they need to eat.
Yeah. So I plan on putting in, more online as we stay home with the baby, and then still get some live in there at the local stuff, and then maybe a trip here at the WSOP for summer. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. Let's quick look at what you and I might do going for it. Like this year, obviously you're going to have lower live volume specifically. Like, poker isn't going to be your number one focus.
Right. So my resolutions vary a bit. And honestly, I don't even want to call them resolutions necessarily because it's just kind of cliche. I mean, one thing I'm going to do is get back into getting my physical fitness. Like you said, a healthy body helps promote a healthy mind. I want to be able to...
Look at us. Look at how far this podcast has come.
I know.
Now we're just like all the rest of the podcasts.
No, but I also want to be fit. I want to be able to, carry my child long enough without my arms going dead. So,
of course, yeah.
So I want to get, start lifting again. And many of you may not know that I actually lifted for many years, albeit my skinny ass looks like I didn't.
You got some muscle on
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Wes. Thank you. So going to do some, start up with lifting. Also, I plan now that the baby's coming to do a lot more home cooking.
Yep, that's good.
I've always been decent at that. A couple nights a week, I'll just cook my own meal. Other than that, I do eat out more than I like, and it does get expensive. So just kind of learn to budget and do that stuff. In terms of, who gives a shit about that, right?
Let's gonna make too much fucking money.
I will say though, in terms of poker, I do. There are some things I want to strive to do, and one of them is more dedicated study time outside of these normal avenues we have, like this podcast or talking with you. I did hop on, whether it's good or not, I'm not sure the content yet, but I did spend that 110 or the $99 to get the 110 free sweeps coins on Club WPT Gold that came with the Upswing Lab.
Yeah.
I'll check that out. Honestly, I feel like a lot of that stuff might be baseline stuff or stuff that it doesn't hurt to freshen up. I don't know what the content is.
It might be good. I used to pay for that one in maybe 2021, 22, and I found it useful. I know for sure it helped my tournament games. Granted, I wasn't as good back then, but you're learning from some really top level minds. So and it's a free roll because you get the sweeps coins.
So you get a free 10. Yeah, you get more sweeps coins than you paid for, and you get this whole membership. I did cancel that after I bought it, so I got it for a month. We'll see if I get
Yeah,
get that back.
That's good to do sometimes if you don't know if you're going to keep it. Just get the 1 month.
Yeah. And the good news is you get the sweeps coins out of it. But anyways, and actually I do have one spot that I really want to focus on this year. And this is actually a spot I recommend most of my, and you know what, not even Minnesota players, but all players in general. But one spot that I know where I can might make me a ton of cash in 2026 is studying my pre-flop 20 big blind and less range from all positions.
Okay.
I find, so many times when I'm deep in these tournaments that's where I'm at, right? I'm typically sub 30 bigs.
Yep.
And then, or less, sub 20, sub 15 bigs. And I want to really focus on dialing those in. 'Cause that's when the money starts to come into play. That's where I find myself a lot.
Yeah. Each big blind you can profit is worth so much money in those spots.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. The big blind is just so much more valuable at that stage of the tournament than it is at the beginning stages of the tournament. So, yeah, that's one spot I'm definitely going to focus, and I actually might even hop into the theory world for that.
Oh, you can't do that.
It's against my grain.
Yeah, I mean that's a great spot to study for tournaments because of the frequency with which you are in those spots.
Yeah, truly. Especially in mid majors where they get pretty shallow deep in these tournaments. Like 20 to 25 bigs is actually a heap.
Yeah.
When you're 2 or 3 tables left in an 800 person tournament and these $500 buy-ins or whatever it might be.
Yeah. And even if you are deep, you need to understand that a lot of your opponents have these stacks. And so it still helps to understand.
Yeah. So again, just kind of work on my opening ranges. I feel like a lot of these things we're going to discuss today, you and I both have put a lot of effort into and have grown skills in them. And you know what? These will be a great reminder for us to just kind of keep working on improving. One thing you and I think both strive with is emotional control. Mm-hmm. You'll never see us berate people at the table.
Yeah, except each other.
Well, yeah, definitely each other. But I mean, at least not out loud.
Yeah.
Does that make us emotionally controlled if it's still in our head?
I don't know. To an extent, right?
Yeah, I guess there's some control in there. Yeah, just not blabbing it out. But yeah, just, work on making sure that when things happen that are out of my control and even in my control that I can quickly reset.
Yeah.
And get back to playing my optimal game so that I don't make our compound mistakes, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's going to be absolutely huge. Yeah, and should we just go ahead and get into this stuff?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Guys, have you fallen asleep yet? Are you enjoying this?
It's a very quiet place we're in.
It's a different vibe. As you can tell, this episode might feel a little different. I mean, we're in this, it's very lodgy feeling, the place we're at right now. I mean, there's skis on the wall. Yeah, it's a cool environment. We got it's actually super hot.
It's hot. Yeah, the building has central heating and
if we have no control over the heating, guys, so I'm gonna open the window. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the first one I discuss. Replacing results-based thinking with decision-based thinking. I think this is a great topic, and should we just kind of discuss what that means?
Yeah. So, and honestly, even though a lot of the players in our Discord, I think, are like, serious, like thinking players, guys who have experience, I think we still see this time to time where it's like, we have a tendency to review hands that were big ones, and oftentimes where it was like either a bit of a cooler or, a hand that was normal to an extent, but it happened to be the big pot or something. It's the one we remember the most.
Yeah.
And the result of those specific hands, I think, will wildly change our perception of how a session went or how a tournament went, right?
Right.
And while sometimes they are really interesting decisions, sometimes they're just super standard spots where it's like, and you know what? I was even typing this as we drove up. To be clear, you were driving. I was typing in the Discord. But I was responding to a hand history, and it was a spot where a guy, flopped a set on a monotone board, got it in a super standard spot, maybe 40 bigs effective, and ran into the nut flush and didn't boat up. Right.
Okay.
And I responded saying, "Good call to the 3-bet jam. Like, we're never folding." And the thing that I had said was, paraphrasing here, one thing that can happen is, you want to make sure that when you lose a big pot like this, you don't go into the mindset immediately of, how do I avoid that happening again? Because I think humans...
That's so well put. It's like, what we need to be thinking in that spot is, I made the right play. Let's on to the next.
Yeah. Like, we don't make plays in poker thinking they're going to have anywhere near 100% success rate. Even if we get it all in with aces pre, we're against another pair, we're going to lose 20%.
And let's just be clear. The reason you have to come to these, make it a decision-based thinking over results-based thinking is because you're going to run into these spots no matter what. These coolers are going to happen. You're going to have a set and it's going to run into a flush. And if you're just folding your sets in these spots, thinking that they have a flush every time, you're just going to be burning money.
Yeah, that's when their ace-X with the ace of diamonds prints against you, or king-jack with a diamond, or maybe they just stuck it. Maybe they had bottom set, maybe they had queen 10, like top 2 pair.
Yeah. And they're overvaluing a worse hand. I mean, there's so many different things. And don't get me wrong, there's a time and a place to fold a set, right? But yeah.
Yeah, and so the overall point is, like, when we have this spot, it's super natural for humans to be like risk averse or avoid the pain, because anytime you lose a hand like that, it can feel kind of painful. And the supernatural thing to do is try and avoid that.
Yeah.
So that's when you subconsciously...
Well, you're like, I want to improve my game. How do I avoid this spot?
Yes. And it comes from a place of wanting to improve too. It's not even like...
Yeah.
It's not the same thing as when people like throw up their arms like, oh, nothing I could have done because of this. And,
yeah.
But there are legitimately spots where there's nothing you could have done. In fact, if you had done something different, that would have been a way worse decision. It was just this time they either got there or you ran into it. And so, what you might see is like, and I've seen this in my game to an extent at times, I'm sure you have, is like something like that happens. And then over time, especially if you're running bad for a period of time, that's when your game kind of can drop off if you're not careful, because you might be like, okay, well, how do I avoid this spot? Well, I just call and I'm really passive, or I try and push them off at pre-flop. You try and avoid the variance, which is not how you maximize your EV.
So to break this down a little bit, to find resolution, how do we? This is a tough question because I'm sitting here thinking about it myself. How do we track decision confidence instead of profit?
Yeah, no, that's a great idea, because it's easy for us to say, oh, we have to change how we think, but it's also hard to implement.
Yeah, right? And then also to know, like, am I actually making the right decision here? Well, that leads into studying, right?
Yeah, that's where there's really no replacement for studying, for reviewing hands with people, for consuming content of like really top level players, like Doug Polk, Chance Corneth, or Suited Kings podcast, kind of all on the same level, I think. Yeah, and then experience too, right? And I think especially, most of us are tournament players that
but let me pause you for a second. Mm-hmm. Don't allow your experience to fog out your decision making. Don't think you see what I'm saying here?
Yeah. You can be experienced and be really wrong about something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, a lot of people are like, one of my favorite things is when someone says to me like, well, I played this game for 25 years. Like, I know better than you. And it's like, dude, you've been...
Actually, if you learned poker 25 years ago and you haven't changed your game much, you're probably the fish at the table.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great point. I just think, that's exactly. No, enough said. So, and now... the next one we want to discuss was fixing one leak versus trying to just fix your whole game. I've discussed in this podcast many times. It's like simplifying is like the best way for me personally to improve my game. It's the best way for me to not overthink things. I simplify my decision making, and there's a fine line, but that's something you kind of work in. But let's talk about what are some single leaks that people can work on versus fixing their whole game. What kind of targeted improvements should we work on?
Well, I think you have a really good example in what you said is you're going to focus on pre-flop 20 big blind tournament spot, like stuff like that. I think most people should just start with pre-flop. In fact, I think, whether it's like you should kind of understand the math of poker or work on pre-flop specifically. And then even within pre-flop, it's like on a specific day, maybe what you do is you find one of those sites where you can do drills and be like, okay, I'm going to do cutoff versus small blind facing a 3-bet. How do we react? Like just get some reps in. And it's, I know many of you out there are like maybe a little bit resistant of GTO. That's not something you want to invest your time in. Like a couple things on that. First off, it's like you don't have to play like GTO, but you should know like
learning it will improve your game. It'll help your decision making, whether or not you follow it or not. Because
then you'll know when you are. Most people don't know when they are deviating.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, it's like, frankly, I think every poker player thinks that they're a field player. Or I would say everyone is to an extent.
Yeah.
And if your results are good, then that's a good thing. But if your results aren't as good as you want them to be, then I think finding some different avenues to study and learn from is like maybe what you need too.
So I found a leak.
Yep.
I've been targeting it and I've been working at it. Mm-hmm. When do I say, hey, that's enough and move on to the next subject? And I feel like just to add one thing to that, I think, you know what? No, answer it and then I'll tell you. See if it's just. I feel like you're going to say it for me. So
I might not say it for it's just when you notice improvement within yourself. Like you can't, obviously, if we go to my example, cutoff versus small blind, you're not going to spend a month on this one specific pre-flop spot, but spend 20 minutes on it, whatever it is. And then
even just a little bit goes a long way. I will say, this will change for everybody. And what I guess I thought you were going to say was, well, we'll come back to it. It's not.
Okay, yeah, that too.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we studied this and we feel confident about it, but come back to it at another time.
I just thought of another way to answer it. Until you find a mistake that you're making.
Okay, explain.
Because apart from like a tournament where I late reg and just get it in with kings and lose or something, I think I make mistakes in every tournament, even if it's a slight.
Oh, we all do, for sure.
And so if you can't look back at either a live tournament or especially if you play online, like an online session, if you can't look back and think of some spots that may have been mistakes, you're probably not being 100% honest with yourself.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're 100% not being honest with yourself.
Yes. That's a better way to put it. And so I would say find some of those, recognize what they are, and get yourself a good answer that you can understand and implement.
Okay.
And like whether it's pre-flop, check raising, low flops, whatever it is you're working on, feel like you've improved your game a little bit at it and then move on. You don't want to dive super, months deep into pre-flop and then realize, okay, well now I don't know what I'm doing after that.
Yeah. You know how we talk about I was talking about simplifying. If you want to simplify your game, and you plan on you're going to take that leap. Hey, I'm going to study. Simplify it. Start pre-flop.
Yep.
Then work flop. Then work turn. Then work river. Just go with the flow of how the game is played, and then do that over and over and over again for a while. You know what I mean? For me personally, I would, for example, I'm going to work on pre-flop stuff Monday through Friday this week. Then next week I'm going to work to flop. and then turn and then river for over a month or so, and then bounce back and go through it again. I don't know if you take it that way or not. That's just a suggestion. But I also have 3 targeted spots that I want to recommend for people to work. So obviously, and these are outside of pre-flop. So, mine was pre-flop for this year. And these are ones I struggle with that I've written here is overcalling rivers.
Okay.
Not just overcalling rivers, but calling rivers in general, just because you want to see what they have. Just work on what you should be calling with, on what kind of board textures, on how it was played out. Do you have something to add to that?
No, you said you had a couple more.
Yeah, I do. Okay. So, and this is a one that would probably help you print a lot of money, but figuring out your 3-bet ranges in position, what hands you should 3-bet, which ones are the bluffs, which ones are the value, and then I don't want to get you, like I said, simplify things, but then figure out how to play those hands post flop through the river. There's always so much, guys, and it is overwhelming, but just focus on 3-betting in position pre-flop.
Yeah, and I think spots that are more common are just going to be more valuable, right? So like that's why we talk more about cutoff versus big blind than we do under the gun plus versus under the gun plus 1, because the former one happens a lot more. And so you can improve your game. You can improve a greater portion of your game by focusing on spots that are going to happen more too. So that's also where the value of pre-flop and flop play comes in.
Yeah. And some of those spots, exactly. Because pre-flop is going to happen far more than any other part of the game. We all get to see pre-flop every hand.
We do.
So,
yeah, no, exactly.
Okay, and then my last one I wanted to mention was defending the big blind.
Yep. Defending and or 3-betting. Because
go ahead, finish your thought.
Well, I know for me, I'm very confident in my defending, but sometimes it's not that I over defend hands that I should fold, but there's some of the 3-bet bluffs that I over defend opposed to 3-betting.
You know, it's funny. Yeah. I've said this before, but I absolutely love defending the big blind. Because you just get to play more hands. Being in the big blind, you just get to play more hands.
It is weird.
Yeah.
Because the big blind is not the most profitable position, but we are kind of excited to play it because, we get to play a lot of hands. Though.
Yeah, you just get to see a lot of hands.
It's like the second best apart from the button.
Remember when Ari was on our show and he's like, we asked him why he said heads up was his favorite poker format is because he gets to play the most hands.
That's a really
that we're here
good
to play
way.
poker. You know what I mean?
We're here to play.
So, the big blind. I love the big blind. I don't mind paying the big blind. And in terms of defending it too, I wouldn't say do this right away, but as you get more confident, you can defend wider against other players, especially players who are playing super straightforward, because you can just outplay them a lot of the times. Don't try and do that against everybody because you'll burn your money. But as you get better, you'll be able to depict people who are just kind of ABC type. They bet when for value, don't bluff too much. You can start defending wider.
Yeah, a lot of people are a bit too passive, and you can just defend a little wider.
Yeah. They're getting farther and fewer between, though. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Yeah. I wonder, is that how people printed pre-2010? Was passive people, or was it just from catching punts from over-aggressive people?
Probably, but I think people were too passive.
Or too tight. Or too tight or too aggressive.
Yeah. And there just wasn't... I guess I don't know. I was, as you would say, I was in diapers then. But
you said it, not me. You guys heard it here. Okay. Just kind of looking over the notes here. Okay. So we wrote this down. Picking 1 leak per quarter.
Yep.
If you want to. That's kind of long. But
I guess, however, it's player dependent, as we would say.
Yes.
So depending on the leak rate, I think if you're working on a pre-flop spot, it can be a little quicker. And then if you're...
Actually, I don't even know why that was on there. Yeah, let's remove that. Not 1 per quarter. Yeah. Do it just per, basis on
whatever
how serious
time
you are about
period,
your game.
have a schedule for it, and I'm going to be however many sessions.
But have that schedule reflect how serious you are.
Yep.
Like if you're not a serious poker player doing it for a living and dedicate a lot of time to other things, really do one thing. Not, I'm saying don't overdo it. Really kind of keep it simple. And if you're someone like Wes, I expect you to be on the solver from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
You know what? Actually, though, I think for me, and this is maybe a bit the opposite, but I think if you are in the stage where you aren't really profiting from the games you're in, I'd say 80-20 rule, 80% of time spent studying, 20% playing.
That's really hard to do.
It is.
Let's be real.
Yeah. And then for me, I would say I should be like 80-20 for playing versus studying. I sometimes am more like 96-4.
Can we agree that studying can just be whatever it is as long as you're trying to break down hands mentally? Like, for example, watching a stream and really thinking about why they're doing what.
Yeah.
That can work as studying. Or
training videos.
Or dedicated study, as we said. Training videos.
Solvers.
Books.
You could, I mean, the way we started this podcast was like, we did a Discord session where we watched a couple hands and then like talked about them. I don't know.
Okay, I like it.
And so whatever works best for you guys. But
and one I mentioned already, but one I really, really want people to work on. In my opinion, probably one of the most effective ways to stop burning your money in 2026 is working on your emotional skill.
Mm-hmm. And so I know we've talked about this at some point, plenty of times over.
We've discussed this topic many times,
but I think a great way to look at it is not like, and I think you and I kind of said before, like, if you say you're not tilting, a lot of times that's not true. I almost view it as you're almost always tilting, but just minimizing it.
Yeah, and let me clarify, guys. We're not saying play like a damn robot. That is just so bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, show emotion. I love that. I love it when people, but what we're trying to separate here is, being able to, after, say you lost a big hand, but you played a great, excuse my language, but you can be pissed. It's okay. Like, we're humans and we want to let that out. Don't blow that up. But the second you let that out, let it go.
Yeah.
Don't all of a sudden, what I see so frequently is someone lose a pot and all of a sudden they're just calling any raise.
Yep.
They're like, I got to win it back.
I've seen it. We've seen it in big spots, final table, 2 tables left, where someone has a decent amount of chips. They lose an unlucky one. And then despite all the money on the line, they just punt the rest of it off. Yeah. And it's like, wow.
And you know why? It's because they lack emotional control. And that's what I'm talking about in terms of burning money.
Yeah. And yeah, it's sort of the same as technical poker, where we're always going to make mistakes. Let's just keep minimizing the mistakes and like keep improving. We're always going to be like, our emotions are always going to be something, but let's like work to minimize their impact on our game.
And you can actually improve this skill across your entire day, not just focusing it on poker. For example, this is one way everyone can really improve their emotional control and practice it a lot. And that's driving in traffic.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? I find myself, and I was a road rager as a young buck. Not like terrible, but like I'd lay on the horn once in a while. I'd flick the brights and just kind of let my emotions go. But as I've gotten older, I've worked on it. And let me tell you a good way to do that. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Someone jams into an exit before you. Well, guys, I hate to tell you, but you have zero control over that happening. It's going to happen. Why ruin your day over it? Mm-hmm. Quickly realize, like, yeah, that person sucks, but I have no control over the decisions they make, and I'm going to move on with my day without making my day worse.
Yeah.
That will literally translate. And the more you instantly recognize that will translate into everything else in your life, including poker.
It will. And I think in poker, we think of tilt as like just being furious, but a lot of times it can, like you said, you lose, you had the best hand, you lose. Now you feel entitled to the next pot, so then you play differently. Or maybe you try and get revenge, like you try and win a pot off of that player who sucked out on you. Or even if you're just feeling a little bit like nervous about losing the money or making, getting a min cash, whatever it is, those nerves will make you play differently too, even if you're not like in an angry state at all, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I feel like there's not much more to discuss on that. Just quit lying to yourself, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not tilted. And then all of a sudden your ranges open up a little bit more. But it's funny because people don't see it as my ranges are opening up more, right? They're just, I'm calling.
You know what I've heard too, and everyone's probably heard this. Maybe we've said it. I know many of us have said it generically speaking, but you bust you go all in with a hand, you bust. It was like a weak holding that you wouldn't normally play, and you say, oh, well, that's the best hand I saw in the last hour. It's like, well, that doesn't change what hands are profitable. It just means like you got bored or you were feeling panicked that you were blinding off.
Yes. Playing marginal spots out of boredom. Mm-hmm. I think dude, what a transition.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a specific form of tilt almost that we're planning on talking about.
That's a great point. It really is. And guys, how many times have you burnt, and be honest with yourself right now as you're listening to this in your car or wherever it might be. How many times have you played a hand because you just haven't played a hand for a while?
Mm-hmm. It's almost something that gets discussed at the poker table as if it's a good strategic reason to play. Like people almost sort of, well, of course I had to play that. I've been tight all, they probably think I was tight.
I'm not sure who agrees with that, but yeah.
Yeah.
But people use that justification all the time. It's one of the most common phrases I hear at the poker table.
Yeah. And I think people will almost justify it in a way where they will say, oh, I've been super tight, so I had a tight image and it's going to get through. And I actually think sometimes the frustration can sort of, you can sort of project the frustration and people actually pick up on that. You've
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And guess what? You'll start getting 3-bet all of a sudden more regularly.
Yeah.
Like it's just funny because especially good players will pick up on that and then they'll start trying to exploit you based on your emotions. So, Blake, great person that does that.
I literally just thought of him because there's one time and he'll chirp at his opponents too.
If you guys aren't familiar, we're talking about Blake Bond. By the way, go listen to his podcast. One of the first interviews we did,
like 2 years ago.
Minnesota Crusher.
One thing he does, and he almost tells the guy what he's doing. Like this guy had folded to him a couple times, and he was thinking about a decision, and Blake's like, are you about to make your stand? Because that's what happens. People eventually get frustrated that they're folding so much.
Oh, God.
And then they just decide to make a stand with a weak hand.
Dude, he honestly is one of the best psychological players, though, just because he will get you to do what he wants you to do by talking to you. It's actually, that's not a learned talent, really.
Yeah, for me personally, the main thing that I have learned is just how to be completely stoic when in a pot with someone like that.
This is a great point to discuss. Yeah, like don't be, not to hurt Blake's ROI here or anything, but you need to, if you're the guy that he's targeting, you're probably weak, like a considered weak player to him because that's why he'll target you. And just you got to the best way to stand up for yourself is to not feed into it, but to zone it out and play what the right poker is from that point. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it also reminds me of Martin Zamani. He's the one who's gotten me a couple times in the World Series main, but
I've heard about it every time.
They're
see, Wes is getting emotional right now, guys. I can sense it.
Painful. No, but in all honesty, we all know that type of player that's a bit more of an old school player. Even when I played with Mike Matisow this summer, you could tell he sort of had that aspect to him where he would like sort of just mess with you a bit. And
the mouth. Now,
granted, even as I sat down, he's like, oh, great, another pro. And then he's on the phone with Phil Hellmuth saying like, yeah, I'm playing in this 1500 and I'm the worst player at the table. Like, so our, long story short, our table was tough and there wasn't anyone he was like picking stuff up from. But I think I told the story of when he made a big fold to me, he like reached over and touched my pulse kind of as a joke. But
we've discussed this on the pod.
We did. Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, just these maybe a little more old school players that will get in your head. I know we've gotten on a bit of a tangent here, but we are just kind of talking about making sure that the plays you make are the ones that you would want to make if you were really thinking about the hand.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah. I like it. What else do we have here before we start wrapping things up?
We had a couple more things. One more thing in terms of studying and just hand review in general is stop trying to prove that you're right about a hand you played, maybe, or better way to phrase it is stop trying to justify plays and just sort of listen to feedback. And I will say, like, this, people in our Discord, I think there's a lot of really good feedback and people are really looking for it. So not, this is something generically that I think everyone, including you and me, when we're not careful, could sometimes do better. It's like, let's say I played a hand, I'm not sure about it. Or, better yet, let's say you have a coach and they're reviewing hands of yours and they're like, oh, this was a mistake because of this. And I think it's natural to sort of try and justify any play you make and sometimes just be okay saying, I think I made a mistake here.
Yeah, I love that. So I actually want to give a goal to all the listeners here. And I truly think, if you're not already doing this, I truly think that you will end this year a better player if you do this one thing. Take this first baby step, and that's entering our Discord, and not just entering our Discord, but making a post. Go into our general, we have many. So if you're not new with Discord, within our server, there's a lot of different, what do we want to call them? Channels, threads, channels. And they're text threads, kind of like forums would be. So if you go in there, we have like a general, we have like a general strategy, we have, you can, all these different threads. Go into one of these strategy ones and post a hand in there and get the feedback. And I do want to tell you, you will, if someone thinks you played it bad, you will get told that. And it's not to hurt your feelings, it's to genuinely help improve your game. So don't be afraid to go in there and look stupid, because we all post hands in there and we all are wrong at some point, right? So I propose that all of you go into the Discord, if you haven't already, and post a hand in there and get some feedback on it and try and improve from it. And if you enjoy that, if you actually feel like you took something away from it, do it over and over, because all of us are in there reading those hands and letting you know our thoughts on it. So
100%.
Don't ever listen to Daniel Kennedy, though.
Oh, you know what? I can't remember what it was, but I almost said his name earlier, and I was like, we don't need to bring him up every episode.
Oh, I did it. Just kidding. Daniel's awesome. And also, shout out to Daniel on what an incredible 2025 for that guy.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar, he's a bad
Everyone's
word
familiar.
Mixed with a good word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any last thoughts here, Wes?
No, not really. I mean, I think that's good. A lot of this is just focused around, I do have one more thought. So we focused a lot on like studying mental game, improving your game off the felt. What about stuff like how much volume to put in, how much, what stakes, any sort of thoughts?
I feel advice? My advice is, well, not my advice, but my thoughts are this will differentiate between everybody because based on their schedule, right? And what they got going on. Player dependent. You're a family man with a few kids, full-time job. What was the question again? It's the THC. Gyms.
Volume.
Volume. I think you should honestly, and this is just a recommendation for me, and you don't have to follow this, but definitely like pick a day. If you're on a busy schedule, just pick a day and commit to that, just like you would for a bowling league or something like that, right? And I'm going to play on this night, and I'm going to play 4 tournaments.
Yeah.
I think that's great for the lower amateur type people. I feel like anyone above that has a good idea of already how to figure that schedule out for themselves. Or in terms of volume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this. This has been fun, Wes.
Yeah.
This is different. Great. It's a different vibe here today. But also, you know what we haven't said yet? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you guys.
Yeah, dude. Pretty excited for 2026. And if you guys have any questions about the content we went over today, or maybe want more insight on that, hop in the Discord. You know what's even really cool about that, Wes? Is we're in there. You can just click our names and send us a direct message if you want.
You can do that.
And honestly, don't think if we don't respond, it's either because you're a loser or I'm not available at the time.
Yeah,
so.
And it's probably the first, but
but no, don't hesitate to send us messages. People do all the time, and we just love chatting with you guys. So don't hesitate to do that. Join the Discord. Link in the description of this wherever you listen to it. So make sure to check that out, guys. one thing that's very important to us in 2026 and a goal for us is growing this podcast. So if you haven't yet, wherever you're listening to it, please take the time to give us a rating appropriate to how you feel of the podcast. Hopefully that's a 5-star.
Roughly 5 stars.
Roughly 5
if
stars.
If it's less, either just don't listen or, let us know in private. And then.
But no, giving us that rating helps us, again, get to the top of these search engines so other people can find us. We can grow our podcast organically. We appreciate that a lot. Also, Clubs Poker in 2026.
Clubs Poker. More meetup games.
I feel like you and I we got to do a little heads up thing, like a grudge match.
We were talking about this on the way up. We might do like a best 3 out of 5 sit and goes or something.
Yeah.
I've always said high stakes cash.
Here we go. And I admitted defeat immediately because you would crush me in high stakes.
That's fair.
cash.
I mean, I play it. You are a tournament player.
Yeah, that's admittingly, I don't care.
Totally. Right. It's like it's like, why would you expect, tournament, we compete against each other a
How
lot.
to not torch cash in 2026 for Max. Don't play cash. Okay, there we go.
There you got it.
I'll be playing cash still.
Here and there.
Yeah, so make sure to check out Clubs Poker. We have our meetup game every other Tuesday. Please join us as much as possible, guys. We have so much fun in these games. You can make a nice chunk of sweeps, coins, bunny ears. Should I not have said that?
No, that's good.
Anyways, yeah, and the tournament's soft.
Yeah.
Wes is in it, blasting off.
Even the good players play worse.
Even the good players play worse, exactly. So come have some fun with us, and we have fun in chat as well. And Tilted Compass, guys, they make the best hoodies in the game. Make sure to check out Tilted Compass. We have a collaboration with them. Find the link in the description if you want some Suited Kings merch. We love it seeing you guys rep that stuff, and we actually got some new stuff, new customized gear coming in 2026 as we move forward. So if you have more further questions about that stuff, you can reach out or wait till it comes active. What else do I got, Wes?
Patreon.
Duh.
Join our Patreon. We put out training videos. I don't know if we talk about them much. We say additional content, but they are like videos.
Yeah. I know a lot of you guys are visual learners. It's a great place to just go and,
Yeah, and even if you're not a paying member, you still get our hand of the week.
Yep.
Which
There's a free version of Patreon. Make sure to join. Link in the description. You get the hand of the week where we break down hands and it's a great way to learn for free. Then we have multiple tiers based on your financial situation and the level of, time you want to put into poker. So make sure to join our Patreon. Link in the description for that. We have the most important of it all.
Yep.
The Suited Kings
in-person meetup game.
In-person live 2026.
Meetup weekend, really.
Fish fry. That's what we're going to
call it. We're going to call it the fish fry.
The fish fry.
Oh, I love it.
The 2026 Suited Kings fish fry running is February 16th and January 15th. Oh my God.
Dude. Is that your beverage empty there?
January 16th and January 17th. I was doing pretty good up until that point.
Yeah, no, it's been fine overall.
Yeah.
So we have a $300 tournament that evening, then some timed games, which is just the Minnesota version of cash games. Then on Saturday we have another $300 tournament and then a $150 turbo at night. So a couple days at Running Aces. If you guys can make it, we want it to be big. We want those prize pools juiced up.
Oh my gosh, man. We got to, dude, should we bring like a couple of sticks of salami and just play the salami game? How did that sound?
That sounded, you guys can just use whatever.
They're gonna be like trophies, and whenever you windmill a bluff to someone, like a pre-flop bluff doesn't count. It's got to be like a triple barrel. Just I don't know. We have
either like a river bluff or a complete air turn bluff.
Dude, yeah, and then whoever. I don't know how we're going to do this yet, but whoever ends up with the salami gets like a free hoodie or something.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Something of that sort. Don't hold us to that.
That stuff's in the works and might not happen, but regardless, the tournaments are happening. 2 $300 tournaments, January 16th, January 17th, as well as no limit time cash games at Running Aces. Please join us, guys. We want to make this as big as possible so that we can do these next year and the year following that. It's a meetup game. Come have fun with us. And I guess without further ado, let's go snowboarding.
Yeah. I mean, we're out here gonna do skiing / snowboarding. We've never hit the mountains together. You know,
Yeah,
it'd be
surprising. Yeah. All right, guys. Happy 2026. Hope it's been good for you and your family. Hope it's even better on the felt, and we'll see you next week.